Hello. Thanks for joining us again on the channel. Okay, yes, we've tried so many of these. Too many probably. But this one stands out. It caught me off guard. Let's figure out why together. Quick note before we begin. There's a discount link in the description and the top comment if you want to check it out. Now let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Opening things up, our first reviewer gives us their take.
This reviewer purchased a new MeshPoint to help with a particularly challenging home network situation. The house in question, built with brick and plaster, had a very unusual layout that created significant Wi-Fi dead zones, a problem made worse by a wireless camera system that saturated the 4 GHz frequency. Having had good experiences with other hardware from the same manufacturer, this client decided to try this signal extender as a simpler alternative to running new cables. The initial setup was incredibly straightforward and comparable to any other consumer networking gear. Our reviewer notes the importance of checking for a firmware update right away through the intuitive companion app, a simple process that ensures the device is running its best from the start. Finding the optimal location required some trial and error, and this client experimented with 4 or 5 different outlets before settling on the perfect spot. Once positioned, the physical antenna on the unit required very little adjustment. Initially, the device successfully extended the network and delivered the full speed of the internet service to a previously unreachable part of the house. However, the real magic happened after some fine-tuning of the old router settings. By reducing the power on its congested 4 GHz band, our reviewer allowed this MeshPoint to establish a stable connection using the cleaner 5 GHz band as its primary link back to the router. It then rebroadcasted strong signals on both bands, creating a remarkably stable network. This simple change almost completely resolved the camera interference issues, demonstrating that this device handled the difficult wireless environment far more effectively than the old equipment ever could. The impressive performance, combined with an instantly helpful customer support chat, left this client thoroughly satisfied.
Excellent. Let's find out what our next reviewer has to share about their experience.
This reviewer has quite a bit of experience with home networking, having worked with everything from Google Mesh systems to smart home hubs. They bought this whole home Wi-Fi system, hoping the range and easy setup would be as advertised. Unfortunately, our reviewer found the initial setup anything but intuitive, and the included directions weren't very helpful. The units themselves are large, heavy, and seem sturdy, plugging directly into outlets. They have LEDs and sounds designed to signal setup status, but the sounds were unreliable. The big problem was adding additional points to the mesh network. Unlike Google Wi-Fi, there's no simple button in the app to do this. It's a complex process and the points don't automatically connect. Even when the units were in the same room, they would constantly disconnect. The app itself wasn't user-friendly, lacking features like mesh status monitoring and offline notifications. Essentially, it was hard to tell if the system was even working. The client almost returned everything, but after numerous hard resets, the firmware finally updated and the points were finally recognized. Following the initial struggles, the company pushed a firmware update, and this client says it made all the difference. They are now able to remotely monitor and reset everything from a vacation home miles away. The reviewer still suggests that the manufacturer simplify the app, making it more intuitive, and make firmware updates more reliable, or include a button to check for updates. But all in all, the product went from a failure to a full-fledged win.
Awesome. Let's hear what our next reviewer has to share about their experience.
This reviewer wants to share their experience with this Wi-Fi mesh system, particularly after expanding it. Initially, they bought just a single MeshPoint to combat a persistent dead zone in their home. Finding it worked wonders, our reviewer decided to invest in the complete system, which includes the base station and 2 additional MeshPoints. This client lives in an older building, notorious for its signal-blocking walls of lath, plaster, and chicken wire, which created multiple Wi-Fi dead spots. The complete system has blanketed the entire space in a strong, fast Wi-Fi signal, eliminating all those annoying dead zones. Before implementing this mesh setup, download speeds hovered around 40 Mbps in the stronger areas of the home. Now, speeds consistently exceed 125 Mbps in almost every location. The ease of setup is another major plus. The reviewer highlights that the entire system involves minimal wiring, with just an Ethernet cable connecting the base station to the modem and the power cords. Each mesh point conveniently plugs directly into a wall outlet. Setting everything up is remarkably straightforward, guided by a user-friendly mobile app. Prior to getting the whole system, our reviewer had purchased a single mesh point to address a dead spot that had defeated other range extenders. This standalone mesh point proved to be as effective as advertised, seamlessly connecting wirelessly to their existing router at the opposite end of the house. It delivered speeds almost comparable to the main router. Furthermore, the setup was incredibly quick, taking less than 2 minutes via the intuitive app. An additional benefit is that, unlike many range extenders, the mesh point does not create a separate extended network, so you don't have to manually change network names while moving around the house.
That's a wrap. If you enjoyed this, drop a like and subscribe for more. Got thoughts? Let's chat in the comments. See you in the next one.